Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 14 of the Maritime Witch. Today, I am going to shake things up a little bit, not our normal episode, not going to do the regular segments. This is actually just one big shout out. I'm going to focus on the Merry Witchmas Fair and the vendors that are coming to the fair. It is on November 25th at the Chester Legion in Chester, Nova Scotia on 14 Union Street. The show runs from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. There is free admission, and there will also be kitchen facilities and a canteen. Now, our Witchin' Kitchen is run by Ann Westhaver, and last year we served beef and barley soup and pizzas made to order. I didn't get a chance to have either because I was busy, but I understand that it was the best beef and barley soup you could ever have. And the pizzas looked absolutely delicious. Oh, and she also makes these ginormous muffins. Like, it can feed a family, honestly. I don't know if she's making those or not, but there'll be tea and coffee. And then the Legion will have their canteen where you will be able to get your chocolate and pop and potato chips. And I'm not sure what else they serve. Perhaps a bottle of water if you want to stay on the healthy side. For those of us that are busy, junk food is probably the way of the day. Not a lot of time sometimes to actually sit down and just have a meal at our table, which is a good thing. So I'm going to do a little rundown of the vendors that are attending this year and what they are going to be offering. So returning this year is Sunlit Soul. They will be offering gemstone jewelry. BJ Morrison from Aquarius Awakenings. She is a reader. Annette Chisholm, who is also a reader. Silver Birch Connections is a store from St. Margaret's Bay. We actually discussed this in, I think it was episode 2 or episode 3, where to shop.
I can't remember actually walking here to do this podcast, so I can't remember anything before that.
And you only came from the kitchen.
That's right.
I do believe that when we did discuss where to shop in Nova Scotia, we talked about Carol's store. I said, bring lots of money because Carol has some wonderful, wonderful items. And I usually unload a fair amount of cash at her table, and easy to do for sure. She, like I said, she has some beautiful, beautiful things. Dorinda Mason is going to be there again this year. That's my mom. And she will actually be next to me because I have to keep an eye on her so she doesn't cause any trouble. And she is bringing with her the realm of fantasy. She's got fairies and elves and gnomes. And she is also bringing her famous Christmas puddings. I do believe she's making mini-size puddings. And I do believe, if it works out, she's also going to have gluten-free this year as well.
That's cool.
Water Meadow Designs is gemstones and jewelry. AJ is just a delight. You will absolutely love her. Citrina will be there with her soaps. They are absolutely delicious. You don't want to miss that table. Corrine and Wayne will be there with tumbled stones, jewelry, and Corrine will be doing readings with the angel cards. And Corrine also offers, not at the fair obviously, but she does have business cards there where she also does Reiki and house cleansings. The other thing that you don't want to miss with Corrine, if she's not in the middle of doing a reading, you want to ask her about the power of the stone. I watch her do this every show we're at together, and it is absolutely amazing. You just ask her and let her demonstrate the power of the stone. You won't be disappointed. And it fascinates me every time I watch her do it. So yeah, check that out. Kimberly's Spiritual Guidance will be there with her items, her witchy items. She might be doing readings as well. Sometimes she does, sometimes she doesn't. But I think she'll probably be doing readings as well as having her little store on the table. And if you're a Groot lover, I don't want to promise you that Groot is going to be there, but she has some delightful little crystal baby Groots. They're just absolutely perfect.
Did she sell out last year or something like that?
I do believe she sold out before the fair even started because we posted a picture of the baby Groots and they sold before she even got them to the show. And then by the time she got to the show, I don't think she had any left, or if she did have any left, it was like one or two.
I am Groot.
Two Crows Creations, wonderful candles and tub teas and all kinds of really cool stuff. Cards. I can't remember what else Lacey has on her table, but she has really, really great items as well. And she will be next to her mom, Touched by an Angel Spiritual Center. Darlene Soller will be there doing readings as well. And I do believe, and me, the Black Hat Boutique, I will have an array of this and that and what have you. Some witchy items, some cards, some witchy Christmas stockings, some witchy bags. I can't remember what else I'm bringing. So that is our lineup of who was there last year. And this year, I would like to welcome a host of new vendors. Eve Chapman. She's a delightful little soul. You're just going to absolutely love her. She just gives the best hugs ever. She's going to be there doing readings. By the Cove Wood Creations. They do handcrafted wood decor for your home. I can tell you firsthand that their products are absolutely A1 top notch. Beautiful designs, well crafted. I have 3 pieces. They actually customized the tray for my charm casting mat, and job well done. It's perfect. And you won't be disappointed there either. Lindsay and Lloyd are coming. Lindsay is a hermit numerologist. She is just... I don't even know how to describe Lindsay. She's amazing. She really, really is. She's so open and so loving, and you could sit and talk to Lindsay for hours and hours and hours. I'm not sure exactly what she's bringing. She does do her own charm casting kits, and she also has some of her own oracle decks that she has designed and made herself. And as a package deal, Lloyd will be with her. Lloyd he will be there with a 6-foot shamanic drum, and he does sound healing with this shamanic drum. And even if you don't take part, it's just amazing just to sit and listen and watch. It's hard when you're a vendor at these shows because you can't leave your table and take part in a lot of other things. You might get a little bit of a walk around, but you can't just up and leave your table for, 15 to 30 minutes to take part in some other things. But you also don't want to not be a vendor at these shows, because we've kind of formulated this little group of us that kind of go around from show to show. So anyways, yeah, they'll be there. Check that out. It's wonderful. Heather and Patty will be there. Kind of a package deal. Patty, I have it on good authority, is stalking me. She openly admits that she stalks me. These two ladies have wonderful souls. They'll be there with jewelry and some Christmas ornaments, and I do believe some dream catchers, and I can't even remember what else. But yeah, really, really great stuff on their table. Sharing a table this year is Tara and Jasmine. Tara is bringing some sea glass creations, and Jasmine is also bringing some wood burning items. She's a wonderful artist. You want to check that out too. Nancy Dempsey is joining us for the first time this year. She is a digital artist and a nature photographer. She does beautiful work. So she'll have some great things on her table. Braden Press is going to be there. They are based in Halifax. They focus on Scottish and Gaelic language books, as well as I do believe they're bringing some children's books written by pagan authors. So we're excited to have them for the first time. Drita Marshall, psychic medium, spiritual teacher. This is an amazing lady, I have to say. You won't be disappointed if you have a reading done by Drita, and she's a good hugger too. Here I am telling all these people out there, come for free hugs. And Karen Camo, rounding out the vendor list. She will be there with perfumes and scrubs, room sprays. She does crystal healing and has products that are infused with crystals. So I think that's it for the list of vendors. I don't have a head count as to how many vendors. My readers, if you're interested in having a reading, I have tried to, I do believe, station them all along the outside walls just for more privacy as they are doing the readings. There are some merchants, people with merchandise that are along the walls too. Lloyd with the 6-foot shamanic drum will be on the stage. So again, November 25th. So November 25th, there is an insane amount of events going on that day. Anywhere from Hubbard's through right along the South Shore to New Germany. And events still, I keep, as I'm going around social media, there's still lots of events popping up. It's going to be a very, very busy day. I encourage you to, grab a friend, stop for a coffee, and get on the road safely, please. And it will be busy. So, please watch out. These events I know are going to be busy everywhere. There's going to be a lot of people out and about, but come to our show first. Or, come for lunch. I always try to do somewheres, if I can, possibly to offer lunch or at least coffee and tea, because sometimes when you come to the show, you can't get into, if you want to have a reading done, you can't just waltz in and have a reading right away. You may have to do like a sign-up sheet. So you can go grab a coffee and a muffin, a giant muffin while you're waiting.
Feed the family.
How
do you get there?
GPS.
At roundabout, take the second exit.
Roundabout? There is no roundabout.
Don't raise your voice at me.
I'm just saying
I can't concentrate when you shout at me.
GPS. I gave the address.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
One thing I will say, just because this happened to me one of the fairs that I did, is one of the first people that came to my table, I think they had $100 bill. Some vendors will be able to do e-transfers and may take debit. Most of the vendors take cash. So I would encourage you to bring a little bit of cash with you. I do believe that there is an ATM on site downstairs at the Legion, and the Scotiabank is just around the corner as well with an ATM. But if at all possible, don't bring large bills. It's very hard for the vendors to use all of their change on one transaction. So yeah, if you don't mind, bring in some small bills, small unmarked bills. What else can we say about the fair? This is year number 2. And I will tell you that year number 3 is shaping up to be a pretty decent year. I have a long list of vendors already for next year's show. The date is kind of finalized, but I don't want to announce it yet because it hasn't been finalized. But yeah, stay tuned for information on that.
Probably without getting too much into it. Apparently there's
the controversy.
Yeah, apparently you're not allowed to call something Witchmas.
Well, we did have a little bit of an issue last year, so we did change the name. Last year, we changed it from Merry Witchmas to the Witch's Mystical Fair, and it created a big hullabaloo, and there was a lot of controversy. CBC Radio did a story on us, which was greatly appreciated. And really the controversy, all it did was fueled it to make it an event that nobody wanted to miss. And we were very, very busy. The doors opened. We actually had people through the doors before 10 o'clock. And I think it was around 3 o'clock that it kind of slowed down a little bit. And we actually ran until 5 last year, and it picked up again around 4. And then we still had people in at 5 o'clock when we were getting ready to close down. This year, it was suggested that we change the name, but we didn't. And everything was just dropped and everything was all good. But we do have somebody going around and taking down posters and ripping them up and throwing in the garbage. But we know who you are, just so you know. And if you know who they are, you can let them know that we know who they are.
I'm pretty sure you're in no danger of having this person listening to this podcast.
Probably in no danger of them listening to this podcast. But again, all it does is just fuel the controversy and just makes it a bigger show. People are curious, so people come out. The word Witchmas is just a phrase. I'm just not going to get into the whole controversy. It's on Facebook. Last year I had a lot of hate mail, which I didn't appreciate. But so far I haven't had any hate mail this year. It's been fairly quiet. But yeah, come out to the show. This is a great group of people, these vendors. They're spiritual and they're loving and they're kind-hearted. It's just such a good vibe when you come to the show. And the readers, I know that as I was going through my vendors, I was just like, oh, they're a reader, oh, they're a reader, oh, they're a reader. I, again, because I am a vendor, have not had the pleasure of having readings done by a lot of these people. I have spent time with Drita. She did an amazing reading for me. You won't be disappointed, I don't think, with anybody that you go to. People that I've spoken to, the testimonials for the readings are just phenomenal. And again, such kind-hearted souls. And yeah.
So when's the doors open again?
The doors open at 10 o'clock. I know that sometimes people come a little bit early, but I would respectfully ask that, it's not that we don't want to make sales, but we do. You made
it funny.
We do, yeah. We have an opening ceremony for the vendors before we actually open the doors to the public, just as a blessing of, making the space sacred, and a blessing for our vendors, and a blessing for a good day, and a blessing for the safety of everybody there. So yeah, we will be ready to open the doors at 10. Like I said, free admission, so just come on in. It is at the Legion, so very important, no hats. If it's a chilly winter day, got to take your hat off when you come through the door. There is obviously bathroom facilities, and it is wheelchair accessible. Be careful, though, too, parking. Don't block the fire lane downstairs. We did have a problem with that at one of the fairs this past summer. I do believe somebody had blocked the fire lane. We will hunt you down and make you move your vehicle. The other thing I'll say to you is just kind of like with everywhere else, maybe tuck a shopping bag into your purse just in case. I mean, most of our vendors, I do believe, have their own lovely little design bags, but just in case you buy lots, which is easy to do.
So will all the information be on Facebook? Like if anything happens, are you going to update people on Facebook?
Yep, we do have a Facebook page. It is called Merry Witchmas 2023. In the event of bad weather, the show would be canceled, but I have looked ahead at the long range forecast, and it's just supposed to be overcast and 3 degrees, if you can believe that, because it's, so far away. Don't let a little fluffy scare you. Get those winter tires on and, Yeah, but again, drive safe. It is going to be a very, very busy day. As much as I would like to, I know this sounds terrible because I should just be the bigger person really and just say, oh, this is happening here and this is happening here and this is happening here and event share. But I've tried to do that last year with the show, and a lot of people just didn't want to be associated with us. So, it's kind of like I'll scratch your back if you scratch mine, and other events. I don't know if it's competition or if it's because they have this preconceived notion of what they think a Merry Witchmas Fair is. Last year, the rumor going around town is that we were having a devil's orgy. Not really sure what that even is. I was kind of hoping that Tom Ellis was going to show up at the show, but he was a no-show, so I guess that failed.
Well, if I would have known that, I wouldn't have stayed in the car.
So again, part of the controversy and just,
it's ignorance.
It is. It's just an uneducated view of, not knowing what it really is. These vendors are small local businesses, and it means so much to all of us when we are supported by friends, family, community, when you purchase from us instead of, Walmart or Amazon. And I mean, hey, I shop at Walmart, I shop at Amazon, but I do try to shop local as much as I possibly can. I think it's important to put money back into the local economy. And it's true what they say, every time you purchase from a small business, we do a little happy dance. So
yeah, and you're actually purchasing from, people that are making this stuff and doing this stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of these products are handcrafted, infused with good intention and love. I mean, none of us would be doing this if we didn't absolutely love doing it.
Yeah.
So I think it's just such a good energy in the room and with the people. And there's usually a lot of laughter, and there's a lot of hugs. I remember last year, I don't think I don't know how many times I got hugged last year, and it's, I guess too, you have to be careful too. Masks are not mandatory, but I know that COVID is still rearing its ugly head. So by all means, if you're comfortable wearing a mask, but at this point, I don't believe it's mandatory. So since this has turned into one big shout out, yay, I also would like to mention that there's 2 more events coming up. The following weekend, December 2nd, there is a spiritual expo at the Louis Millet Center in New Minas. It's at 9489 Commercial Street, and the show goes from 10 until 5. And a lot of the vendors that will be at the show on November 25th will also be at that show. I will be there. I will be doing charm castings at that show instead of merchandise. And then the very next day, Sunday, December 3rd, from 10 until 4, there is a spiritual expo at the Aylesford Lions Club at 2160 Highway 1 in Auburn. And I will also be there. It's a busy weekend. It's a busy time. And that will be, I do believe, my last show for this season. Speaking of shows, let's talk about the Maritime Witch. So after this show, we are going to take a little bit of a break. Just going to be absent for a couple of weeks just because we are going into a very, very busy season. I will be back to discuss Yule and what to buy your best witch for Christmas. And then we're going to take a little hiatus after that show. We'll be returning early in the new year for season 2. And we're going to come back with some new witchy segments. The botanicals are going to be gone and the gemstones are going to be gone. They'll be replaced with something new and something fresh so that, nobody gets bored.
Something borrowed, something blue.
Yeah, no. And we'll also, keep you updated on the Facebook page. And yeah, so I think that is pretty much it for this show.
And I'm going to play a commercial, right?
Okay.
Now. Hey, are you looking for a unique gift for someone that you love? Or maybe you just want to treat yourself? Well, check out By the Cove Creations Wood Decor. Beautifully handcrafted wood designs for you and your home. By the Cove Creations in Marriotts Cove, Nova Scotia. Visit www.bythecovecreations.com. And we're back.
Would just like to thank the Chester Legion for being our venue and hosting our show for the second year. And it's also important for me to give a big shout out and a big thank you to my vendors. Without these people, I can't host a show. And without the customers who come through the doors, we as vendors can't have a show. So I would like to give a huge thank you to everybody, vendors and community and customers alike that come out and support us. It's very important. And, give yourself a round of applause because you make it happen. Thank you. So thank you for listening. Again, November 25th at the Chester Legion, 14 Union Street, Chester, 10 till 4. The Merry Witchmas Fair 2023. Don't miss it. Come see us first.
Put that address in your GPS.
Put that address in your GPS.
But if it tells you to turn left and you see the ocean, turn right.
Yeah, the Legion is pretty easy to find. I do have to say a lot of people found it last year because we were very busy. And I look forward to seeing you there. My hugs are free, so, I'm happy to give everybody a hug. And in the meantime, may the universe find you safe, happy, and healthy. Blessed be.
Have yourself a merry little Witchmas. Have yourself a merry little Witchmas. Have yourself a merry little Witchmas now. Have yourself a merry little Witchmas, even if you think it's wrong. That's too bad we won't change the name.